I've got cards. They're multiplying. So I got a bunch of card show pickups that I want to show off today. Let's take a look at them. We're going to go ahead and ease into this, you know. We don't want to be... I know what you saw. I know you saw what you saw, and I'm not going to... I don't want to blow my load all at once. And the first two cards I got at my table. Somebody actually came and sold me these cards. Very clean Gyarados from XY Evolutions. This is the reverse holo. You can see there's not almost any scratches on it, which is rare for these cards. And the back is really clean, aside maybe from like that corner, maybe the corners. But some of these could just be printing defects too. So they might, if you get these graded, honestly, this wouldn't be... There is a little bit of speckling there, or whatever you want to call that, for the surface. But this would be a pretty good grade for a very hard to grade card. The Gyarados is the Cosmo Holo Gyarados. This is actually the promo card. It came in some, so I'll put the box here somewhere. And the problem with this is it got damaged in the box. You can actually see right where it got held in the packaging. You can see on both sides there's damage, which sucks because otherwise this card is pretty clean. There's a little bit of an indent right there if you could shine the light on it, and just a little bit of whitening, but the front is super clean. That indent doesn't go through, and I love this Cosmo Holo. I have the regular Holo, and I think I just need the reverse for this card. This next card is really cool. You don't see these very often. The surface isn't perfect, and the back is pretty solid. There's some corner stuff, but again, it might just be from the printing. I love the little holo that it has on it. You don't really see these cards very often, so when I saw it, I knew I had to pick it up. I don't think I've seen the Ninetales. I've seen Zapdos, Mewtwo. I have not seen the Ninetales in person. Next up is a trio of cards: Dialga GX, the M Gyarados EX, and the M Tyranitar EX. I got these in a bundled deal. Somebody was looking to trade these, to sell these at my table. The Gyarados is pretty clean. The back's a little more rough. The front is great. The only issue with it is a small crease right there. The Dialga GX looks great on the front. The edging, you can't really notice it because of that secret rare foil. The back is where it gets a little rough. There's a lot of whitening across the top, whitening on the corner in the back there, on the ground there, and some scuffing on the surface of the back. But I think this is a fantastic binder copy for anyone, really. Look how awesome that card is. And personally, I think a lot of the rainbow cards are really slept on. So this was a no-brainer, especially when it was bundled in with a couple of other cards as well. The last card in the trio I grabbed was the M Tyranitar EX. I think this might be the cleanest one of the three. There's no real creasing. Surface, there is some scuff. There is a scuff right there on the surface. And there's a lot of whitening at the top and on this side here. But otherwise, it's not too bad. The surface is a little rough again, but not a horrible copy of this card. And it's just so cool. M Tyranitar is just such a badass Pokemon. These next four cards I grabbed from the same vendor. The Charizard EX from Paldean Fates has been just tanking in price, especially since those boxes came out last year. And a lot more people were able to get their hands on Paldean Fates. But people realizing how hot and how awesome that Bubble Mew is, that thing jumped up in price last year. And along with it, this and the Gardevoir jumped up as well. But now they are tanking, and they're tanking hard, at least as this video comes out. So I had to grab a copy of this card before it starts climbing back up again. It was around $400 just last year. It's sitting around like $280 as of this video. This copy here is so clean. The back centering is pretty good. I think it's acceptable for PSA, I think. The front centering is a little garbage, but I've seen worse centered cards get 10s at PSA. So this would definitely be one that I would submit in. It's just so clean. Thank you to the vendors, Karen's Cards, for selling me this card at a great deal, actually. From the same vendor, I grabbed 3 attack rares from Mega Symphonia and Mega Dream. These are the Japanese equivalent of Ascended Heroes. So the first one is the Mega Halucha, which he is one of my favorite Pokemon to play in Pokemon ZA. His alpha version is such a tank and just takes down everyone with that attack flying move that he has. You could just spam that in the battle areas and just dominate with this thing. I think I have like 3 copies now of this card, and I think the Japanese versions have room for growth. And they've gone down a bit now because Ascended Heroes is released. But the thing is, with these, there's the English attack is on the Japanese version, and the Japanese attack is on the English version. So they're not technically the same card, just different languages. There is some diversity there between all of the attack rares, which they did the same thing with the early EXs from a few years back. So I think that's a reason for me to grab a few more of these every time I see them. So I also grabbed the Mega Scrafty or Scraggy. I can't remember the name. It's Japanese, so I can't remember which one's which. And the Mega Gardevoir, which I think the artwork is so cool. Gardevoir is no brainer. The next card I did was a straight trade for an SGC Hidden Fates Articuno, the full art, and it was a 10. But it was an SGC 10, so to me, I did the value of what that was. And honestly, for how much I had invested in that card, you're probably going to say, oh, this guy got cooked in the comments. But for me, how much I had invested in that card through sending it to grade and opening it in a pack, basically, which was $5 at the time when I opened it. That was about 5 years ago. I love this Dark Blastoise. I've had the non-holo English. I've had the holo English. I've had the first edition. I've had this card, sold all of them throughout the years, but I've had this version of, I've had this artwork of Blastoise so many times, and I can't, every time I see it, I can't bring myself not to pick it up again. This copy is really clean. There's some whitening at the top and maybe in the corners, but again, that could also be printing. And the surface is pretty clean for this era of card. Is it a 10? Probably not. The front surface is great. There's not a ton of scratching. I'm going to try to shine the light so you guys, I don't want to blind you, but then you can see it. There's not a ton of, come on. There's not a ton of, the zoom in is killing me. There's not a ton of scratching on the holo, and the really awesome thing is the swirl right there by his crotch. Yeah, look at that. Come on. It's trying to focus on the Mew behind me. Look at that beautiful holo swirl right there, right by his crotch. For me, this is definitely worth a straight trade, even though he probably got a little bit of better value than I did on this card. The next card I picked up is a really, really, really cool card that I had to get, and I probably paid a little too much for it, but that's okay because it is awesome. This is the Unseen Forces Lugia. This is the reverse holo. How do you know it's reverse? The regular is just a holographic. The reverses of that era have the logo of EX Unseen Forces right there. Now, the cool thing about this version of Lugia, there we go. It's not that noticeable usually. But the weird thing about this Lugia, so all the reverses have the holo pattern, sparkly, and if you tilt it the right way, they have Pokeballs in the background. Most people don't even notice that. That's how hard they are. That's how hard they are to notice. But I saw this one, and it actually has the Pokeballs upside down. You can see that. And the holo is shifted on mine a little bit lower. You can see it's like broken up right here. That is not normal. That is a known error recognized by CGC if you grade this. I think this is such a cool error that not many people know about. Look at that. You can see the Pokeballs. Normally the Pokeballs are right side up. I'll post a picture of a regular one. These are upside down Pokeballs. I got this for free from Karen's Cards. He found me after I bought the Charizard because I made the biggest purchase at his table that day. So he said anyone who did that would get a free Janine's Secret Art, special art rare. I think that's cool that they did that. Really appreciate that. And I love this card. I actually just bought this in a raw copy from Japan. The next card I got is the Wild Force Japanese version of the Full Art Gengar EX. This is the Pristine 10. CGC Pristine 10, not just a regular 10. I think there's only like 350 copies of this right now, which is pretty low considering how many people send in cards to get graded and how well Japanese cards, that's actually right on the sleeve, and how well Japanese cards grade. A pristine 10 from CGC is 357 copies is pretty low in this day and age, especially for modern as well. And for the price that I got it for, I couldn't pass it up. The last graded card I got was the Latios and Latias GX from everyone's favorite set, Team Up. This is a PSA 9. I think this is a very clean copy. I don't see a ton of, there's got to be some sort of surface wear or something, or some whitening somewhere, or the guy just had a bad day. The centering is really nice on this card, and honestly, it's really tough to get good centering on this era of cards. If anybody collected GXs during this era, I'm talking to you, Everest, then you know how bad the centering and the cuts on this era of cards can be. And the card you have all been waiting for, Charizard GX from Burning Shadows. I have been chasing this card for so long that I figured, you know what, I'm just going to grab it. I got this for a great deal. This card has been going down a bit, and I managed to snag it for a fantastic deal. The back on it is really clean, maybe like a little bit of scratch right there, but the corners are just, that's literally print quality. Pack fresh from this era, like I said, is rough, and I've seen worse versions of Charizards pulled from Burning Shadows. So thank you for watching today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my little adventure down the card pickups trail today. I hope your patience paid off waiting to see this beautiful Charizard GX. Just so cool. Look at that. 2 Charizards. Badass. Anyways, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and you've lasted this long, make sure to hit that like button. It helps the channel a lot. And if you're new to this channel, which most people are who watch my videos, make sure to subscribe or follow or wherever you're watching this. So yeah, thanks for watching today, guys. I will catch you in the next video.